Hey, this is Rachel Friedman, and you are listening to The Wellness Boss. To really compete in the wellness industry, you have to have a fully integrated business. That's why each week I will be answering your questions, sharing my stories, giving you tips and advice on how to create a business you love and that makes money. Let's get started. You are listening to The Wellness Boss, episode number 29, The Power of Non Negotiables. My name is Rachel Friedman, and I am so super excited to be with you here today for another fabulous episode. So, how is life treating you? Good? Fantastic? Amazing? I hope. I'm doing pretty amazing today. Of course, not every day. I'm human just like you, but today I've decided is going to be a fabulous one. I absolutely love writing and recording these episodes. It is so much fun. And I had no idea when I first got started how much fun this could actually be. Fun thinking about my clients and everything I can do to help them reach their goals. The best part is it gets me out of my own mind drama and into being of service. Tony Robbins says the secret to living is giving. Whew, I 100% agree. When I'm being of service, helping others, it is the absolute greatest high ever. How was your Thanksgiving holiday? Did you eat too much? Hopefully so, right? I know I did. We seriously, guys, had 5 desserts for 8 people. That means that practically every single person could have had their own dessert. Not really sure how that happened, but it did. We ended up with a pumpkin pie because my husband loves pumpkin pie. One of his clients gave him this ginormous apple pie. My mother-in-law brought over a chocolate cake and a pecan pie. Yeah, so we had a lot and it was all really delicious. I hope you had maybe a similar experience and ate too much pie. But seriously, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Mine was nice. We had all 5 kids, so it was a full house all week long, which is fun and a bit chaotic. Yes, you heard me. 5 kids. I have 2, 14 and 17, and my husband has triplets that are 17. So yes, we have 4 17-year-olds. Luckily, they're good kids, and for the most part, they all get along, especially our boys. They went through a phase, but now I would say they probably say they're brothers from another mother, which is just awesome. And yes, they do eat a lot, if you're curious. I feel like I'm constantly having to restock the fridge and pantry when they are all here. I literally have to go pretty much every day, which that I don't love. Anyway, they aren't all here often at the same time because my husband's kids live, for the most part, their mom lives 45 minutes away. That's where they go to school. So they tend to come here mostly just on weekends. So one thing I noticed, though, I wanted to point out, which kind of spurred up this episode, is that over the Thanksgiving holiday, I kind of just took a break from life in full honesty, which we really do need sometimes. So I ate, I sat on the couch, watched a lot of TV, did some shopping with my daughter, but I really didn't do anything that nourished my own cup. So I kind of put my non-negotiables onto the side, which is part of the reason I want to talk about them today. And honestly, by the end of the weekend, I was feeling really shitty. I was sluggish. A lot of the old negative self-talk was flooding in, the doubts, all that crap. And at first I was like, what's going on? I've had this really nice weekend with my family. Why am I feeling this way? And so I started to ask myself some questions, which is what we do as coaches. And I realized I had given up my non negotiables for about 4 or 5 days, which is probably the longest I've gone in a really long time. And by giving them up, by just putting them to I'll say giving them up, by putting them on the back burner, putting them to the side, my own container was just feeling a little bit dried up. So, what I want you to know is These non-negotiables that we're going to talk about today are really for you, and they're not from a place of, how do I say this? Like, they're coming from a place of serving yourself. So sometimes when I ask my clients, when we first start working to set them, they feel like it almost feels a little bit over demanding and maybe inflexible. But I want you to know and understand, by doing this, you actually create more spaciousness, you create more calm, um, you create more ease in your life. So that's why I wanted to talk about them today. I wanted to talk about setting non negotiables for yourself, because seriously, they have changed my life so much for the better. And I know I'm not the only one. My client, Alex, and I were talking about them last week on her session. And she was sharing how she had been sloping downward and feeling a bit depressed. And she too had noticed after a little bit of time that she had been really scattered with her non negotiables. She hadn't been on point with them, and she hadn't been making them a priority. So, shout out first off to Alex for having this awareness, being vulnerable and sharing that with me, because sometimes it's hard, right? And for taking back the control over them. So, as humans, we love to feel like we are in control. Come on, be real. We all do. The truth is, there's a lot we can't control. For example, the weather, right? We can't control it. And we can't control what anyone does. So, meaning you can't control what your husband does. You really can't even control what your kids do, right? Your friends, anyone. So, sorry, friends, but not so sorry. We can't control other people's actions as much as we might want to be able to. Okay, but here's the good news. We can control how we think and feel about everything and anything that goes around us, that we experience. We can control how we respond, what we do and what we don't do. And what does non negotiables have to do with control? Maybe you might even be thinking, what are they, Rachel? So, first off, we're going to go into that. But non negotiables are a way to care for yourself. I want you to know that. And by filling your own bucket, by doing them, you will be controlling a piece of your own life. So that's kind of how this meshes together. So let's get first started with, what are they? They are things you are committed to doing for yourself every day, no matter what. That's why we call them non negotiables. So they are not negotiable, my friends. And I really, really mean this from the bottom of my heart, as someone who, yes, just fell out of them for a few days. The importance of doing them every single day is really important. Okay. So these things that you choose are for your own well being. Only you can pick them. My rules are, they need to feed your mind and your body. And what does that really mean? Mind and body. What will make your mind and body stronger? Practicing it every day. Yes, let me say that again, every day. Why every day? Because habits are formed when we do them over and over consistently. Habits fuel us, right? They do. They also help us feel less overwhelmed. These are going to help you feel less anxious, calmer, more grounded, and more productive. So let's piggyback on episode 23 on self trust. When we set up non negotiables, we are helping to build our own inner self trust muscles, which honestly, there is nothing as important. These muscles are the foundation for your own future success, not just in business, but as a human in human life. When we trust ourselves to follow through, our confidence builds, and we know we aren't going to just give up on ourselves. Why is this so important? Anxiety lives in the uncertainty, the confusion, the fear of making bad choices. If you no longer want to feel overwhelmed or anxious, you have to start to take steps to calm your nervous system and teach yourself that you do make good choices, that you don't have to be confused, and that things are in your control. Anxiety is an overstimulated mind, my friends, a mind full of worry. Worry about things that likely won't even transcribe. Yes. Non negotiables are set up to help you reset your nervous system and build a foundation for trust in yourself. Now, a simple way to do this is to create a non negotiable schedule. I suggest start with 3 things you will do every day to fill your own container for your mind and for your body. A few simple things to keep in mind. Keep them small and simple, not complicated or things that you don't like to do. You have to want to do it, right? Because if you don't like it, you won't. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, for example, one of my non negotiables is meditation, that I love meditation. But when I first started, I started small, 5 minutes. And that I was like, okay, feels doable. Okay. Make sure they don't take a ton of time because if you're already feeling stressed and pressured with your time, adding more to your plate is going to feel impossible. If you skip a day, don't throw in the towel. You just start again. Okay. So, what is one thing you can do every day that will feed your mind? Like I just mentioned, for me, it's meditation. I sit with myself about 20 minutes each morning, watching my thoughts. So often when I introduce meditation to people, they think they're supposed to shut their brain off. Good luck to that. It's not really what it's about. We have thousands of thoughts every day, guys. Scientists say anywhere from 60 to 90K. That's a shit ton. So if you start meditating and think, I have to turn them all off, you're likely to give up pretty quickly, right? And I don't want you to, especially if this is one of the things you're going to do for your mind. So I want you to start small. Start with maybe 5 minutes if you've never meditated before. Okay. And just allow yourself to be in the space of observing your thoughts. Be that witness, just watching them come and go like a fly on the wall. No attachment to them, right? Let them come, let them go. Clouds in the sky. Okay. And if you need a little more help with this, got you covered. I think I did an episode on it already. So look back. Okay. So try this right now. Close your eyes. Okay, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. You can come back to this. Imagine you have just put on a ton of scuba gear and jumped into the ocean water for a scuba adventure. You've hit sea level, the bottom of the sea, where you're going to watch everything around you. As you watch the fish and the sea life around you, you're focusing just on your breath, right? You've got that oxygen tank on. That's the same thing you do in meditation. The fish represent your thoughts. They're just swimming around you. They come and then they are gone, but the constant focus is you have to focus on your breath. So let me just talk about meditation for a quick second. Meditation calms your nervous system and it brings you closer to what's going on in your subconscious. So it's going to give you the ability to notice your thoughts that might normally just pass you by. And it's important because some of those thoughts may not be serving you. And by witnessing them, now you have a window, an opportunity. It's like a door, right, of awareness into things that you can begin to work on. It is magical, my friends. Not actually the sitting part, but what it creates for you as a human. Sometimes it's boring, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it's relaxing. And sometimes it can even feel a bit overwhelming. But I'm going to suggest make this one of your non-negotiables. Okay, start small, 5 minutes, observe your thoughts. It doesn't need to be complicated. If it absolutely is like, no way, this doesn't interest me, okay, find something else, maybe prayer, something for your mind, maybe reading, okay? Now, let's talk about setting a non-negotiable for your body. What's going to feed your body? Okay, maybe you're going to feed it with movement. Maybe you're going to feed it with good nutrients. Like maybe you have a smoothie every day for yourself. Okay, you get to decide. For me, I like to do a mixture of both. So one of the things I like to do is have a smoothie in the morning before I eat any meals that's packed with, spinach and kale and fresh fruit. Okay. I also like to either get on my yoga mat or take a walk. I like to move my body. So Find something for your mind and something for your body and commit that you're going to do this every day. Remember, it doesn't have to be long, right? It could be that I'm going to take a 5-minute walk every day. Okay. But it's the fact that you're doing it, right? And it's filling your container. Now, for me, I have 3 non-negotiables. And my third non-negotiable is I self-coach. And I do this because it helps me see, it's like an awareness tool of what's going on in my mind. So literally, I have a process that I take myself through. And that process is kind of like that flashlight into what's going on. And it really grounds me and it keeps me centered and focused for the day. So I want you to think about what are things, 2, 3 things that you can set for yourself that you're going to commit to today. Write them down, say it out loud, and share it. Because when you share it with other people, it's like you're declaring it. And then do them. And then do them every day. If you do it every day for 90 days, you will have begun to create an amazing new habit. And bonus, you will be building self-trust. I can guarantee it. This is something that will help you create really anything you ever want in your life. Right? A healthier body, a new career, stronger, more loving relationships, a calm home, a fabulous new business. Okay. So want to start now. We don't want to wait for New Year's or next Monday. Start today. Okay. That is key. And what I want you to know is by setting these non-negotiables, it's like you're making an agreement with yourself. You have to set these from a place of love. Okay, that's important, not from a place of demanding or not from a negative place or a forced energy. We want it to be from a loving place because anything done from a forced energy just doesn't stick. Okay, so for example, I'm choosing to do these things because I'm worthy of feeling good. These are some thoughts you could entertain for yourself. These non-negotiables are the path for me to build a deeper relationship of self-trust and confidence. My non-negotiables fill my container for the day so I can be a better mom and wife. Your turn. Start by creating a thought that feels good. One that you believe that will encourage you to take the action of following through for yourself. Then set the non-negotiable up to 3. Don't do too many at once or your brain will feel overwhelmed. Go to work on them. And guess what? You will probably fail. Yeah, you'll forget. That's not a problem. Check in with yourself. What happened? And then adjust and start again. It's a practice, my friends. And it's going to take practice to get stronger and more confident with it. Okay. If you want to learn more tools like this and be able to coach yourself on a powerful level, or maybe you're like, ooh, I want to be able to help others because, as Rachel said, serving is one of the greatest places to live a life, really is truly. Then I highly recommend you sign up for my free masterclass. It's this Thursday, December 2nd. If you're listening to this in the future, you can always reach out to me and I'll send you the replay. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in the show notes. But I want you to know in this masterclass, we're going to cover two tools, right? That will help you be an effective coach. So you can see how this could be your next profession, or maybe just start to use these tools on yourself. I'm going to talk to you about the anatomy of a coaching session. So you know how to navigate that, right? Because often people come to me with that. Even coaches who've gone through training, they're not sure how to navigate their sessions. And then, of course, the most important step to create clients consistently, right? So if you want to make this a business, you have to know how to create clients, right? You don't have to worry about where they're coming from all the time. So imagine being able to coach yourself through just about anything and everything, and being able to create a business that you love, that you are making a difference, and I'll be honest, making really fucking great money. That's not just what's possible, my friends. That's what happens. That is reality when you do this work. All right, I'll get off the soapbox. Set your non-negotiables for the week and let's commit to them for the next 90 days. Maybe even share it in our private Facebook group. Let me know what they are, or DM or email me, or any of the ways. Don't forget, leave a review. It's the only way that this podcast will be shown to more people and more people will get to drink up all the goodness, right? Share it with your friends and have a wonderful, fabulous week. I'll see you next week, guys. I cannot talk today for another great episode. Namaste. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Wellness Boss. If you want to learn more about my work, come visit me at rachelbethcoaching.com. That's Rachel, Rachel, Beth, Beth, coaching.com. See you next week.